Hello, everyone, and welcome to Burn the Ship, the podcast that helps entrepreneurs go all in on their business, and we introduce them to professionals that can help them to do so. Today, we have two very special guests. We have Mike Albuquerque, and we have Brian Kramer. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing all right. Thank you for having us.
Yes,
great,
yes.
I wasn't expecting that energy. Now I'm ready. Let's
Hey,
go.
listen, I told you, I said, I'll turn that show on for you guys. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys coming in today, and we truly do appreciate your time, and we understand that that's one of our most valuable resources. So let's go ahead and jump into things. Mike, tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to Cobb County Business Bootcamp.
Absolutely. So, first off, I was born and raised in Brazil. Okay. That's where I'm from. And I decided to come to college in the U.S. in beautiful Savannah, Georgia.
Nice.
So not too far from here.
Nice.
After which, I went back home and I started working in advertising agencies for a few years until I decided to come back and get my master's. And then I came to Atlanta. And once I got here, I just couldn't leave.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it was an amazing town. I also met my wife, who was like, nudge, nudge. Hey,
Yes.
you got to hang out here. Right.
Right. Makes sense.
So I said, all right, I'll stay.
Yes.
You know, fell in love with Atlanta, obviously with my wife, and we decided to stay here and start a family.
Okay.
And I, followed my path of continue working within advertising and design agencies. So, that's my background in, just working on the creative field. And then my last job actually was in corporate America.
Okay.
After having worked with agencies where you were dealing with several Fortune 500 clients and helping them establish their brand presence, their websites, their retail spaces, I said, okay, let me go into corporate and work for one specific company here in town as well. But a couple years in, I said, you know what? I kind of want to start my own thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a little bit more freedom with my lifestyle, starting a family, had a young kid at the time, and the second one on the way.
Okay.
And I said, okay, let's change the pace a little bit. And so I, that thing stunk in, right? And I said, okay, I'm making this thing, I'm doing the move, I'm taking the decision. Yeah. And decided to start my business. And I started an agency called Bear Double, which does websites and branding. Okay. And, as part of being a small business owner, right? I mean, it's a whole new world that you got to navigate. So I started getting into networking and, figuring out how do I meet these small business owners and how can I really craft my offerings to them. And so joined a lot of different networking events, including a local networking group where I got to meet this guy over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And I think we got along pretty quickly.
We did.
Yes. Well, that's good. I wanted to ask. Now, you said Savannah is where you went, because I went to Savannah State. What school did you go to in Savannah?
I went to SCAD.
SCAD? Okay. Got a little bit of thing in my heart for SCAD. I played baseball when I was at Savannah, and y'all ended up ending our streak. But it's okay.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I'm still going to have a good interview with you, Mike.
Don't hold it against me.
I will try not to. I'll try not to. Now, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey. How did you get to here?
Well, I grew up in the Detroit area.
Okay.
And ended up going to Western Michigan to study printing management. I was going to work in the printing industry. But through that journey, I learned computer programming and ended up going straight to work for IBM in Southwest Michigan as a systems engineer.
Okay.
And my territory were small, medium businesses throughout Southwest Michigan. And that's where I really developed a love and appreciation for small business owners. Okay. Just some of the most down-to-earth people trying to make an honest living, and they tend to be involved in their community. They tend to be home at night, on weekends, involved in scouting, all that fun stuff. Then I did the corporate journey after that, which was interesting. I ended up coming down to Atlanta a lot, where I met my wife. I guess there's a theme here.
Hey, listen.
Atlanta has the wives, I see.
Find love in Atlanta.
That's what happened. And through that, I did a lot of international work. I ran a large training product line for IBM around the world, and gained an appreciation for just that tactical type of learning, what people needed to do just to survive, be better at their jobs. Then I did a project for Governor Sonny Perdue in workforce development, and that really opened my eyes up to Georgia and the small business challenges throughout Georgia. Particularly when, for generations, people's career was, well, Grandpa worked in the mill, Dad worked in the mill, I'm going to work in the mill. Wait a minute, the mill's gone.
Yes.
Now what?
Yes.
You know, somebody moved the cheese. You know, so they had to reinvent themselves. What are we going to do? And corporations are looking for, hey, if we're going to come to Georgia, we want to know, can we hire people with the skills we need? And by the way, 5 years from now, we don't know what skills we're going to need. You know, so what can we do? And so we've recommended a solution in that space. But it really opened my eyes to that. Then I had the chance to follow what I really wanted to do most of my life, was to have my own business. And was invited to be one of the founders and still owner of a company in town called Rome, which is a co-working location. And Rome is spelled R-O-A-M for professionals who roam.
Yes.
So you can go to meetatrome.com and learn all about that business. And that had a big impact on me because I saw the needs of people who have lost their jobs and desperately need to network and desperately need to reinvent themselves, but they don't know what to do or how to do it.
That's right.
You know, and they're getting tired of being laid off. You know, I'd be there as we're doing networking functions, and I'd watch these amazing people walk through the door with really nice outfits on, impressive pedigrees, and fear in their eyes. You know, what am I going to do?
Right.
How am I going to do it?
Right.
And then through there, I've had multiple other businesses, and it ended up becoming a fractional chief operating officer for small businesses throughout Cobb County.
Okay.
And that was some of the most rewarding work I've ever done, because you know, through IBM I learned how to streamline things and make life easier. My goal is that people can go home at night. They can still, you know, produce something of value and go home at night. And so that's through that journey. That's when I was working as a fractional chief operating officer on my own. That's when I met Mike, and we started teaming up on projects. When I met him and understood what he needed to do, I said, I got a customer that needs you.
Yes.
I'll bring you in. And one of our other people, Tanya Harvey on our team, she was a sales coach, still is. And when my customers needed sales help, I'd bring her in. And so I kept bringing these people in, and they're now a core part of, or the part of, the Cobb County Business Bootcamp.
Yes. Excellent. I was just going to ask, now, you both have had experience in working with small businesses. You're helping them with their marketing, websites. You're helping them with the functionality of their business. It had to be a point in which you said, hey, look, we're going to burn the ship and go all in on Cobb County Business Bootcamp. Do you mind sharing with us what sparked that idea and how did that come about?
Absolutely, and maybe I'll start and you can complete, because it's been a journey and a great journey at that. You know, as Brian mentioned, as we met and got to know each other's business a little bit more, we just started collaborating more and more, right? And you know, he'd bring me into his clients, I'd bring them into the projects I was working in as well, and we just started then developing, like, is there a system or a platform that we can start working together to just integrate what we're doing with each other more, and bringing, you know, the other strengths and expertise of other experts that could help our clients succeed. Right. And I think that might have really been the genesis for what we're doing here, because with the Cobb County Business Bootcamp, because the Cobb County Business Bootcamp is all about, you know, supporting small businesses, right? So as you know, in goodness, Brian, when was it? 2022. We started building this out, right? We started thinking through how, you know, if we had to support a business from like the startup, how can we do this, right? What are the expertise that are needed? What are the steps that someone who's maybe looking to start a business versus someone who's looking to grow a business versus someone who's looking to build a legacy business that they can sell or they can pass down to their family members. And so that really helped us take a more holistic look into what we were doing, right? And figure out where do his expertise fit in, where do my expertise fit in, and what are the other gaps that we're missing, right? That we can start adding in to, you know, develop this into, at the time we weren't even sure what it was going to be exactly, right? But it turned into the Cobb County Business Bootcamp, which, you know, is like a platform and program for business owners to come in and, you know, basically form all that. Yeah. Right. So
does it help them with their business solutions? What is it that Cobb County Business Bootcamp is helping these individual small businesses, or is it medium-sized business? What size businesses are there?
Well, again, a quick side note. The title of my autobiography is going to be called things I've accidentally done right in life.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
You look back and think, darn, that worked, didn't it? I joke about that, but I think it's an important point to make, because I think a lot of people, I won't say necessarily stumble on to what they're successful at, but they start with one idea that leads to another, and they're really good at that one.
Right.
And I think that's a typical journey as people go down the entrepreneurial path. And I was at home one time minding my own business, and I got this email from the county saying we have this grant money, and we're looking for ideas in workforce development. Okay. And I said, well, hold my beer. And I called Mike, and I said, hey, Mike, look at this. You want to, should we work on this to apply? He goes, sure. And we started working on it and said, I'm going to need an instructional designer. So we called Lori Genevish and said, Lori, I've known Lori for years. I said, you want to help us with this? And just, well, okay, Brian, whatever. And I poke fun.
Yes.
And then I said, we're going to need a salesperson. Hey, Tanya, you want to help us? Sure. And then I said, I'm going to need a CPA, who knows grants. And so they said, someone to my network introduced us to Forrest, and he's just outstanding. And then I needed an admin. Well, the admin assistant I had when I was president of the East Cobb Business Association. I said, Julie, you want to help us with this? She said, sure. And the team was formed. So it's really been an amazing journey, particularly as the way we've learned to collaborate over the years, working together.
Right.
But also each one of us has background in helping small business be more successful, just in our own way, in our own specialty. And when we come together based on our experiences, we're learning, it's like, and one thing that's so cool about it, to me, is it's not just, here's a general ledger, here's what a payroll is, here's fundamentals of sales. We're also working with the whole person. What are you struggling with? What are you afraid of? What's keeping you from moving forward? Let's have those conversations.
Yes.
And we are really targeting people, let me just say, that don't qualify for help from bigger organizations.
Okay.
And because we are funded to do this, we are really focusing our efforts on people who have an idea and they need help developing it, or people who have been trying to get the current business going and have been struggling with it. And they, because of their struggles, they haven't qualified for help from the Small Business Association or from local banks and things of this nature. Yes. And so we help them get their thinking right. Are you just living a fantasy? Because one of our success metrics is if you have an unviable business, we're going to tell you have an unviable business. Stop running your face into that fist. It's not going to get any better.
That's right.
Unless you can change these things. I've worked with one customer before we started this. His life was falling apart. And I said, you need to shut down your business. And he went, what? I said, get a job. You're not going to survive this process. So to give people straight talk, but also the encouragement and the community to be around other people like themselves who have that dream and they want to progress, and so they get that sense of community of fellow entrepreneurs who have a dream that they want to pursue. Right. So we help. To me, we had. I shared this. I won't use the name, but a woman who really dove into the program. And after about 2.5 months, came up to me at the event where I met you. She was at that event too, and she said, since I've been doing this, my mental stress level has dropped significantly. My business has improved, and my marriage has improved. Okay. I almost started crying. Right. It's like, you're kidding me. It had that kind of impact. But it's because when people just dive in, and they're the phrase I like to use is, you're a forced entrepreneur. You lost your job how many times now, and I've got to figure something out. I'm tired of sitting in the basement behind video games. Let's get out and try something. And that's what we're trying to do, is help people get back on their feet, get over the fundamentals, get that sense of success. Yes. As I have an idea and people like it, and they're giving me some money for it. And look, I've got more money on the table each month.
Okay. Now, as we are creating the framework of who is a good person for the boot camp, it sounds like someone that is in the infancy stage of their business, or is it someone that has been going a little bit and have gotten stuck? what would you say is the ideal person that you would like to come into the camp?
I would say that it's someone who's at a pivotal stage, and either that is they're trying to, start a side hustle, or they're trying, they're tired of doing the, the rat race and being in corporate, and they're trying to start their own full-time business or make that jump, or they've had a business and it's been stuck in a certain level right now, and they're looking to take it to the next level. Okay. Right? They're in that growth period. Yeah. So I think to me, that's kind of the core of the ideal customer for us. Okay. Our program and the way that it's designed and funded right now is for Cobb County residents or people who own businesses here in Cobb County. Okay. Right. So one or two, and because the program is funded, we're able to provide these services for free. Okay. Right. So there's no. I always tell people that's the. They're always waiting for the second shoe to fall. Yes. Right. So
yes, absolutely.
They're like, oh, you're going to offer me this. Okay. When are you going to charge me?
Yes. When's that bill coming?
Okay, but what are you really trying to sell me?
That's
right.
True.
And I tell them, I'm like, at this point, we're not even equipped.
Yes.
So it's
we can't even take your money.
Yeah. Yes.
That makes sense.
And it's the just the type of thing where like that's a little bit hard to grasp, right? Sometimes because people aren't used to understanding that yes, there are organizations or there that are able to provide you support to grow your business in that manner.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it is weird when people don't ask for something back. That's one of the things that we're used to. Like I said, hey, I can do this for you, and then you're gonna be like, all right, well, how much does it cost, or what type of favor are you putting in the bank? Seems like you guys have a program that is funded by the county where you can actually provide these services, and you've given me a good idea of what that ideal person looks like to come into the business. We've met through networking, and we are more likely to come across what we call a referral partner for you guys. I know in your website business, a referral partner may be someone who's trying to do some sort of marketing but needs your help. In this particular instance, who would you say is a good referral partner to send over opportunities for people to join the boot camp?
CPAs.
Okay. CPAs.
Other professionals who are into that another person's business.
Okay.
Insurance agents, lawyers. When they tend to ask personal questions, honest questions of different business owners, because everybody's got their mask on.
Okay.
Everything's wonderful. Everything's good in my life. Scratch. Oh, don't scratch there. No, that really hurts. Okay, so I've been losing money for months.
Yes.
Yes. I can't. I've got high turnover. I can't keep staff. I can't attract staff. I'm always struggling to find a customer.
Okay.
So the professionals who are involved in other people's businesses.
Okay.
Would be giving them a huge service.
Okay.
By saying, at least go to the website and check these guys out.
Check it out. Yeah, it seems like business coaches would be a good one because they're trying to help, and you guys provide additional help that they may not be able to. So that seems like a good referral partner as well.
And we're also getting ready to launch, in a matter of a few weeks, I think, our Done With You services. Okay. Where if we have a coach out there, a CPA, a lawyer, our members can sign up for 2 hours of their time.
Okay.
And we will pay them. We'll pay those people to spend 2 hours with our members and say, just what question do you have? Mike kind of stumbled upon we were struggling with how to structure this program. But one of our members just reached out to Mike and said, Mike, look, can you just help me out here? I can't get my website to function this way. Can you help me? He goes, well, I don't know that platform, but sure, let's just get together for coffee. Yeah. And he fixed it. He figured it out for it. And what we really realize is that people just get stuck. They just get stuck. And so I've got a guy lined up now to provide basic IT support.
Okay.
You just need to talk to someone. You can use your credits in our program to sign up for time with that person.
Yeah, specific hours.
And then that person, they're not allowed to sell their services during those 2 hours. However, they will be allowed to say, look, if you want to just reach out to me, here's what I do. Here's how I handle it. Because we'll be giving local Cobb County professionals who help other companies basically free marketing. Yes. We'll pay them to market. I mean, impress these guys with your expertise and help them with their business. Okay. You're not there to sell your service. You're there to help them get unstuck.
Yes.
And give them an honest answer. And that's really, I think, what we're finding is because that's where people, they feel that anybody who's had their own business, you know what it is to be stuck on a spreadsheet, stuck on IT, just get my stupid phone to connect to my computer, right? So it's really there to help people get unstuck.
Yes. And our platform, it's really built to meet business owners where they are with their struggles, right? So at the very base of it, we have an online community, which is the way that I describe it is almost like a private Facebook. It's not on Facebook; it's its own online community, but that has everyone who gets accepted into the program gets admitted there. We have different channels, different way for business owners to get to know each other, share a little bit more about their services, and to access the foundation of our program, which is our online courses, right? So we have online courses on marketing. We have on operations, we have on sales. We're going to have a couple that are going to be launching just this month, and on finances. So we're trying to meet some of these needs and allowing people to go through these programs by themselves, so that if they're looking to, understand a little bit more about their marketing or create a sales strategy, they can start going through these courses at their own pace, right, and start working on that. We also on that platform have weekly webinars where we get more specific on individual topics. So, I do things like website reviews where members come in, they share their websites. I'm able to go in, give them some pointers on things they should change. I'll do trainings on how to set up your Google business profile or basics of email marketing. We just had an IP attorney come in and talk a little bit about IP law for small businesses, right? So we have these weekly programs where you're able to join in live. It's kind of like a Zoom style where you can ask questions at the end of the thing, just make it a fun interactive session, but also where you're getting value out of it.
Yes. Right? Sounds like you guys are heavy educators and super connectors as far as trying to fit in those pieces of the puzzle that business owners are missing or not even aware of. If that's a good explanation of what you have, shared with me so far. So for those small business owners that are out there that are stuck, you definitely need to continue to watch so you can learn more from these guys. Now, one of the things that we always ask our guests to do is talk about some of those skills that you have acquired and nurtured over time that some of the entrepreneurs that are watching today can add towards their bag. Do you guys mind sharing some of those skills that you have acquired and nurtured over time that some of the business owners can help?
Do you want to take this one or should I?
I'll go.
I'm not shy. Don't pull my arm. Don't pull my arm.
And these are things that I have developed over time based on different business needs. I learned at IBM, but I've learned to make them very, very applicable to the small business owner. Beginning with simple business processes. How do you get things done? Let's think through how do you get things done. Very, very important exercise because so many people are just figuring it out as they go. But if you don't have processes that are documented and tested that you can improve or have improved, it's very difficult to hire the right people to come in or contract with the right people and have them be productive quickly. So you define those processes, which converts into what's called a roles and responsibilities matrix, which is basically, what do I expect from you, Roderick? Yes. And what do I expect from Mike? What do I expect from Abby over there? And what does Abby expect from you? And what do you expect from Mike? And that's a healing process for any organization. Whenever I've done that over the years, there's healing that takes place, where people have a much better understanding. Because part of that also is, therefore, if these are your responsibilities, what skills do you need to have? And what tools do I need to provide you with so you can do those? But also, what's the definition of success for each role? That's so important, particularly if Mike sees what I have to do to be successful, then Mike also knows that if he doesn't come through on something, he's compromising my success.
Yes.
So that, and it goes both ways.
That's right.
So people have you think people understand all that, but they really don't. Once you have that defined, now I can create really good job descriptions.
Okay.
And now I can have a much better help wanted process. And I have a much better onboarding process because it forces you to think through how are you going to bring a new team member on. And when you have a solid onboarding process, your retention rate is higher.
Okay.
And so just simplifying it that way and helping small businesses. I mean, I had one customer after just 4 months when I was doing this before I did Cobb County Business Bootcamp. Said, I feel like I have so much more control over my business. And it was really kind of cool to hear that.
Yes.
Because she really understood how to connect the dots better, because she was a practitioner. Most small business owners are a practitioner. They have not put all this stuff together before. Mm-hmm. So by helping people think that through, right. It's amazing the impact it can have.
Excellent. It sounds like it's very important to have that plan set, because if you don't have a plan, you don't know where you're going. You don't know how to fix things because you're just flying by the seat of your pants. But if you get your processes in place, it at least allows you to have a set of accountability.
Well, in addition, too, your quality goes up.
Okay.
So you're more consistent in the product or service you're delivering to your customers. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And there are fewer mistakes, so there's higher customer satisfaction, so there's more referrals.
Okay.
It all comes down to how well can your team execute as a team. And these are fundamental steps to get those defined.
Yes.
And the cool thing is you can do it while the airplane's flying.
Okay.
The airplane's flying. Okay, well, fine. How do we keep improving it? How do we track? How do we know when something's gone wrong? Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite parts, too, is when you take the time to define that, you've set yourself up as a business owner to catch people doing things right.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of going around being a control freak and saying, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong, it's, wow, thank you. You nailed it. You crushed it.
Yes.
And I've had to wrestle with company presidents before saying, you have to define a good job. And they didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
So, well, you've got all these morale issues going on here, because every time they think they did good, you come in and point out what they did wrong.
Yes. Definitely. We were talking about that this morning, actually, the emotional bank account, and they're withdrawing it out instead of putting it in there. So that's excellent that you hit that particular point. Now, those are some great skills that you shared. Did you want to add to that at all?
I'll add to it. Yes. So I think that when you start becoming a business owner, especially if you're doing it without prior experience, you're wearing a lot of different hats.
Absolutely.
Right. And you got to be scrappy, and you got to be flexible, and you got to just do what it takes to get that business off the ground and get started and get momentum and test its viability and grow it. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you're depending a lot on yourself. Right. And as you start growing the business, you realize that, hey, maybe working on all these different things is taking time away from what's working for you, your core focus, right? Delivering on your service, developing your product, whatever that may be. And so you start looking for, getting the right people and the right processes in place to help, alleviate a little bit from your load, and also just to help your business be more efficient. Okay. And I think that mindset change for me was huge, because once you start, that's one of the things that I worked with Brian, and he helped me bring that perspective, was just understanding, what are some of the things I need to have in place to have goals for my business, to have a path for growth that I can achieve, and what are the steps that are going to take me to be there?
Yes. Makes a lot of sense, and I definitely appreciate you guys sharing those skills. During this podcast today, we've talked a lot about business. We talked about how you've started and, how you started the business. But I do want the people that are watching today to understand we do all of this hard work so we can have this thing called a life. Mm-hmm. So let's just say that, and we'll start with you, Mike. Let's just say you service all of the small business owners in Cobb County. They know the functions of the business. They know the plan that Brian was talking about, the processes. What is it that Mike would do with his time if he had more time for himself?
So on a personal level, it is definitely family time.
Okay.
I got 3 small kids, a couple dogs, and my wife and I, we love spending time with kids, and just they're young, so we're at the phase where we're like traveling, and all that. So on a personal time, definitely that.
Okay.
I get a lot of fulfillment over what I do, mm-hmm. right? I
mm-hmm.
get a lot of fulfillment over helping a business owner, go through an exercise understanding, like when they understand how to connect their customer, what their customer journey is, or how to set their branding in the right way, and to get that twinkle in the eye
mm-hmm.
of
mm-hmm.
looking at the results and saying, wow, look at that, my business, my little business now has like this cool brand or, this website that really reflects what we stand for, that they can be really proud of. I get a lot of joy out of that, so I don't think I would ever stop doing that.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Now, you mentioned traveling.
Yes.
What's the next destination you guys have on the calendar? Where are you guys going next?
Okay, so I have a plan.
Okay.
I just got to do a trip this summer.
Okay.
This past summer, where we went to Paris without realizing that the Olympics were happening. By the way, which is the most interesting part. But we wanted to. My kids are young, so they always want to go to Disney. That's their ideal vacation. And the wife and I want to travel abroad. I said, why don't we go somewhere where there is a Disney?
Okay.
Right. So we traveled to Paris. We did a few days there in Disney Paris, and that was a really fun experience.
Yes.
So I'd love to repeat that again with some of the international locations.
Okay.
Where there are theme parks, so we can get some of the culture in, and also, the kids can go and see their rides. And,
see the stuff they're used to.
So
awesome.
I think we might be going maybe Shanghai or Tokyo in the near future.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about. How about for you, Brian? What would you do if you've gotten all those small businesses served? What would Brian do with this time?
Well, so fitness has always been a passion of mine, just a hobby. You can't tell by looking at me because I've had an interesting journey the last several years as I age. But I've hit the National Swim Championships 3 times as an adult.
Okay.
And I want to hit it again when I'm 70.
Okay.
Which is scary close. But I want to do that one more time, and don't get the wrong impression. The times are much easier to hit when you're 70 than they are when you're 20.
That's so funny.
But I swam in college, and I did triathlons and all that nonsense. That was about 60 pounds ago.
Okay.
And so I do want to get back into that, into overall fitness. And hang out with my wife. We've been together 42 years, and we have a great relationship, and we get along great with our kids. And just come up with whatever we can be doing together.
Yes.
At this stage in our life.
Yes. All right. Always going back to family. That seems like that's very important to you guys. And it's very important for the people that are watching today as well, because they are really rooted in that great foundation. So I definitely want them to reach out to you. And speaking about reaching out, how can the people get in contact with you if they have questions about the boot camp, or if they've heard some of the skills that you guys shared and they want to get in contact with you? What's the best way?
So you can go to our website, theccbb.com. That's theccbb.com. You're going to see a lot of information there about our platform and ways for you to apply there as well. And there's also, you can contact us there, our email's there, our contact form and everything. So if you can go there, you can fill that out and get in touch with us.
Excellent. Now, we always honor our guests by giving them the last word. So we're going to have 2 last words this time because I got 2 great guests. So just look into the camera and then tell the people something good. Tell them what's on your heart, Mike, and then we'll end it up with you, Brian.
Guys, we are really passionate about helping small business grow, right? So come learn a little bit more about what we're doing. Check out our website. Feel free to ask questions, reach out to us. We have a platform with courses. We have our webinars. We have roundtables for members. We're going to have our Done With You services, which are launching soon. We have a lot of different offerings, and we are adjusting that to the business owner's needs here in Cobb County. We're developing a strong community where not only we can be supporting you, but you can support other small businesses here in Cobb as well. Get to develop strong relationships and get that support not only for your business, but also personally, because entrepreneurship can be pretty lonely. So check us out. We'd love to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. So theccbb.com is where I'd point you to.
Excellent. How about you, Brian? What word you got for us?
Our mission is that we create life-changing journeys by helping people create sustainable businesses that support their community while providing hope with optimism to their families. So it's not just blowing smoke their way, that's just, raw hope. It's, no, here's how you get it done. And my fantasy, and the stuff that we've put together is we have an idea generation workshop that's free to the community to help people get away from their computers and just think through ideas and come up with different business ideas and meet other people in the same spot. And then when they want help executing it, they sign up for the Cobb County Business Bootcamp, which is free. And we help them learn, here are some of the specific steps that you take to do it. By doing that, what I hope that we accomplish as a team is that people start getting more money on their table every month. The family income grows. And as a result of that family income growing, I want to see families stay together now. You know, they don't have the financial stress that's breaking them apart. And by having that, maybe the community gets better. Right. But along the same line, micro goal, it's not really a micro goal. It's a solid goal that for people who really want to step up to it, let's see if we can get you and your business to a point where you can take 2 weeks vacation and still get paid. And not be checking your email the whole time you're gone.
Yes, yes.
And I tell you, when you can do that, you now have a business you can sell. Right. So, you know, you're building an asset. It's not just, let me put money in a 401k, let me put money on these stocks. It's you're building an asset, something that generates income for you that someone else sees value in and says, here, I'll buy that for this much money. And look at the difference. Look at who you've become in that journey. Mm-hmm. So to me, to have people come to me and say, Brian, we did it. We did it.
Right.
That would be super cool.
Excellent, excellent. Now, to the people that are watching today, please reach out to these gentlemen. You see that they have nothing but your best interest in mind. And to you both, I truly do appreciate you coming on and being great guests for us today. So thank you so much for coming on today. And to everyone that is watching, be kind and thanks.